Welcome to the ReLaunch Show. This is the place where we share fresh ideas, inspiring stories, practical steps, and solutions. Today's most in-demand authors, experts, and thought leaders, Joel and Dr. Pei, talk to them all. On demand, at your fingertips. 3, 2, 1. Prepare to relaunch.
And joining us on the show today, writer, transformational and empowering facilitator and coach Patty Alfonso is on the show. Patty, this is the first time that we've done a show together. Thank you so much for coming on.
It is. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We've been looking forward to it as well, and we're just so glad that we were able to make this happen. And let's jump right into it. Want to respect everyone's time. And Patty, tell me this. When did you start to realize that it was time for either a professional, a personal relaunch of your own?
I love this question. And I have to say that I am continuously in the question of, is it time to relaunch again? I think the first time that I can clearly say is around when I was 30 years old. And I was living in Los Angeles, pursuing my dream of acting, and there was something that was just missing from that. So I started asking questions of the universe and of the energy, and I relaunched my life from actor to healer, coach, all of that. And I just dove right into that second phase of my life. And then when that started to feel a little bit like, okay, what else is possible here? What else is next? Then I relaunched again. And, you know, this happened a couple of years ago when I found Access Consciousness, and I started studying that healing modality. And then a couple of years later, I started asking questions again. You know, what's next? What else is possible? And I'm actually in the middle of a whole other relaunch. So that's why I was so attracted to speaking with you and being on this show with you, because the infinite possibilities for people to relaunch their lives and create the life of their dreams is absolutely amazing. And I'm living proof because I've done it at least 3 or 4 times in my life.
Sure. Well, I appreciate you saying that. And it reminds me of something that one of our guests, author, this guy's a rock star, Tim Sanders, was on the show. And one of the things that Tim said is that we are continually in a relaunch. And you know what? I think he's right. And what you said just kind of reminds me that there's always, we're either preparing for a relaunch or we're stepping up to the launching pad, getting ready to blast off. So,
absolutely.
Let me ask you this question. A relaunch. People often go through a relaunch because of a choice that they make, like the things that used to excite them and used to light them up just no longer have a spark to them. You know, that's one kind of a relaunch. And then another kind of a relaunch is a relaunch of necessity. And by that, I mean, you know, sometimes situations change, circumstances change, conditions change, and then a person is, you know, they have to relaunch. And I'm just curious for you, you can choose one particular relaunch or kind of weave them in there together. But for you personally, is it more of a decision of choice, your relaunches, or is it a decision of necessity, or is it kind of wound together?
Yeah, you know, yes. I actually think that those two things are not exclusive of each other.
Okay, explain.
Yes, absolutely. What I have found, not only in myself, but in my work with my clients, my one-on-one work. So you reach a place in your life where things just aren't really working anymore, and that joy and exuberance and ease that can be experienced isn't really happening. So you know that something has to change. Now, choosing something different creates awareness of what is possible, right?
Right.
So you can either choose it, and then the universe will respond and say, hey, look at all of the possibilities, choose one of these, and then you can keep going on your path. And if you don't choose it, but it's time and it's there and the seed is planted, the universe will sort of make you choose something. So you can either choose it easily with joy and glory and awesomeness, or the universe can hit you over the head with a 2x4. So which one would you like to choose?
Yeah.
And for me, it was definitely, I just had that awareness that something had to change, that what I was doing wasn't working for me anymore, that it wasn't creating what I really, truly came here to create. And so I kept choosing. And in those moments where I didn't choose, like when I was stuck in a job that I wasn't happy, that wasn't working for me, I got fired. So I created that as well. So even in that, it was a choice. I knew I wasn't happy. I knew it wasn't working. So the universe said, okay, hey, let me help you out.
So if you don't answer those tiny little nudges, you're going to get a big push, huh?
That's right. That's right.
That's tweetable. That is tweetable.
Yeah. And even that big push is something that you have created. It's a longing that you kind of put out into the universe. And the universe responded with a push. I would like my pushes to be very soft and gentle. I'm not too crazy about the 2x4, method,
Patty,
so,
what you just said, that's important for people to know. I never heard it the way you said it before. It's when you said even that push is you created that alone, it make people take responsibility, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You create your reality. Period.
So,
your points of view, everything. It's what you create. And so that's just how I choose to engage in this reality and with this universe.
Very good. Earlier, you mentioned briefly about not just in you, but the people you help with, your clients, and you saw them going through transition. So, if they, do you see symptoms of people who, either yours or your clients, that if they don't answer those little nudges and those restless in them?
Yeah, I mean, the clients that come to me already have that awareness that something needs to change. So the people that I work with are like, okay, I'm not happy, something needs to change. Please share with me the tools that I can use to create this change in my life. Mm-hmm. So that's with my clients. What I see with, friends and family and all of that, again, what I said before is that when they don't make that choice for the change, the universe just does it for them.
Right.
And you can either, have that experience and flow with it and go with it and allow it to contribute to your life, or you can resist it. And when you resist it and you start reacting to it, then that's when problems occur and when things seem to be difficult. So, yeah, I've definitely seen that with people who are just resisting what is happening and resisting the flow of the energy of where their life is going.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about that, because oftentimes when Pay and I are helping people kind of set the stage for their own relaunch, a relaunch into a more meaningful, more fulfilling, and a more financially rewarding second half, a lot of relearning needs to take place. And you know what I mean, relearning about their potential, their possibilities, and also sometimes their worthiness. So I'm curious, during your relaunch, I mean, was there a point, or is there still a point when you're questioning some of the things that you thought you knew about yourself as you're developing even more into not just your business, but also in your life?
I am in constant question of everything. it's so funny that you asked that. I just came back from New Zealand where I attended an Access Consciousness 7-day event, and it was a 7-day immersion about just that. The event was called Blessed Possibilities, and it was about diving into what else is possible and opening the energy so that you can create whatever it is that you choose. You have to question everything. And I came back from that event with this sensation, this awareness that everything that I thought was real and true was just not. All of my beliefs that I adopted from my family, from my parents, everything was put into question, and everything was just like, okay, this isn't even mine. This belief, that like you have to work really, really hard, 12-hour days to make a lot of money, that's not mine. What do I choose to believe? I want to play. And when I play in the universe and I have joy, I receive money easily. So relaunching is being in the question of everything that you ever thought was real. And again, going back to you create your own reality. So the reality that you're living, is that yours? Or is that handed down to you from generations and generations, from your family, from your friends, from your coworkers, from all of that? And I just have to add, I'm just so grateful to Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here, who are the co-founders of Access Consciousness, because they are bringing these tools into the world so that we can all use them and have a much more fun, joyful, easier life.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I have questioned every single thought, feeling, emotion that ever comes up.
Okay.
Is this mine? Who does it belong to? What else is possible? These are all questions that can open the energy so that you can be with who you are in the world, not who your parents wanted you to be, or your sister, or your, whatever.
And let's talk about that, because we all want to do the best that we can for ourselves and for the people that depend on us. And with those good intentions, sometimes it's easy to overlook the signs and the signals that kind of nudge us and tell us that it's time to do something different, that it's time for a relaunch. For some people, it just might be irritability or spiritual restlessness. And for other people, it might be more extreme and severe symptoms like, chest pains and panic attacks and things of that nature.
And I'm going to share with you a tool that I used in my life. And so is tuning into the energy of things. So something feels light to you, and by light, I mean expansive, joyful, happy, like when you think about it, you're just like, yay! Then that is something that is true for you. When something feels heavy, and I would categorize a lot of those things that you mentioned as heavy, there's a contraction in your universe. You're not happy. You're not joyful. Things aren't going, easily. Then when it's heavy, it's not true for you. So in using this tool, I can be aware really fast that, like, okay, this isn't a choice that I would like to make right now. And so that's why I'm just kind of really filled with gratitude right now, is because having this tool has really helped me to navigate my life in a way that makes my choices really obvious. When you tune into the energy beyond what is being presented, then your level of awareness increases, and it makes making those changes easier. Allow yourself the space to make a different choice if what you're doing is heavy for you.
Allow yourself the space. That's tweetable, and that is awesome.
Yeah.
What contributed, Patty, the most, or what is contributing the most to your successful?
So in my current relaunch, I'm not deciding, okay, this is how it's going to go. I'm constantly in the question. Every time I make a choice, I ask more questions. What will this create for me in 5 years? What will this create for Mother Earth in 5 years? What else can I add to my life today to contribute to this creation? So always being in the question. Every time I choose, I ask more questions. What else is possible here? What can I create that I'm not aware of? You know, what else is possible that I haven't thought of today? And then the awarenesses start to come in. The universe says, hey, try this, do this. So I think that being in the question is one of the most valuable tools that I've ever learned from Access Consciousness.
I love that. Be in the question.
Yeah.
And then allow yourself the space to make a choice or a different choice. Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Last question. What do you know now, Patty, that you wished you knew then that will serve our relaunchers well as they move into a more meaningful, a more fulfilling, and a more profitable second half?
I know that I am a gift and a contribution to the world. And I know that every single person listening to this right now, every single person on this planet is a gift and a contribution to the world. So own that and be it and go out into the world and let's create more consciousness, more awareness in the world.
Awesome. Beautifully said. Thank you. Patty Alfonso is our guest today. LiveYourDreamLifeNow.com. That is the place to go. Thank you for your time, Patty. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.
We all want to be more, earn more, and contribute more. But sometimes the day-to-day stands in our way. And before we realize it, we find ourselves stuck between unrealized ambitions and shrinking options. Not you, though. You're tuning in so you can turn it up. Get in touch with the ReLaunch team and map out a plan that will take your business, career, and life to the next level. Visit therelaunchshow.com and prepare to relaunch.